Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I also stand to support this motion. And, Mr. Speaker, there are, of course, the twin problems. One of them is about the food sufficiency and the need to import maize. And then there's the GMO issue. And if I may begin with the GMO issue, Mr. Speaker, it has been said in this House that what we should follow is scientific research and scientific findings. And that would be very attractive, Mr. Speaker. And members, quite eminent members, have said here that whenever there is a doubt on scientific findings, it is better to err on the side of safety. There is no need, when you know that there is a possibility that a substance is poisonous, that then you take a risk of taking it. And I have listened to one member who is the chairman of agriculture utter very, very scientific terminology. Unfortunately, I did not get an opportunity to say on a point of order that it was absolutely out of order to quote scientific findings without acknowledging who was the source. Everybody here who is talking about scientific findings has not quoted any scientists that I know about. Because today, we grow maize in Transmara. We grow a variety called 614. We grow very many other varieties. These varieties have been developed by scientists of Kenya. And they have been planting several variations of indigenous crop. In Kenya, we actually have a Kenya seed company that carefully and meticulously develops seed. But what is happening today is that we are being told that there is science that comes from the United States of America that says that GMO is safe. And this raises an issue. And first of all, we shouldn't actually be calling it GMO because it is not bringing it out clearly. This is genetically modified organisms, so that you don't lose the track of what we are saying. To start with, in the United States of America, maize is not a staple food. In fact, a substantial component of maize is consumed by animals. And if the scientists in America have found that GMO is safe, I don't know to what extent we can rely on that evidence when indeed we require maize to make ugali and sometimes to make our porridge or githeri. We want it for real life, not for our animals. So I would like to urge, Mr. Speaker, that we do not just plead science before we actually know who the scientists are. The European Union has legislation on genetically modified organisms. And the main purpose of that legislation is to protect humans, to protect animals, and to protect the environment. But in 2015, the European Union actually passed a law which allowed countries to make a choice as to whether they they should grow genetically modified foods. And many countries, Germany, Greece, Italy, Poland, and Scotland, elected not to grow GMO plants. However, the European Union has been importing from the United States soya beans, which are genetically modified. But this is purely for animal consumption. The developed countries, the main countries of the West, minus the United States, do not sing this GMO tune. And I must say, Mr. Speaker, that if we are relying on science, we had better rely on our own scientists. Otherwise, our scientists are sleeping on the job. They ought to come in front of everything else. And lastly, we should be hearing from the Ministry of Agriculture, not the Ministry of Trade, because this is not really just a trade affair. It is a matter for our food. I support.